Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You've got a for a breath. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength and by Grunt Style. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post, we're so glad you joined us here as we're talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week. And we can't wait to talk to our guests on the Sage Fruit guest line today, Tim Schafer and David Gravel. So we are locked and loaded and ready to go. Erin Evernham alongside, and man, we had a full weekend of sprint car racing. Pretty good weekend this past weekend.
Yeah, Mother Nature pretty much cooperated.
Pretty much.
We had, a lot of great stories. It was hard to pick who to have on the show today.
Well, exactly. We kicked that around, and let's talk about it. Those are our classic ink, screen printing, and embroidery hot topics. Tim Schafer, $100,000. We're going to talk to Tim in just a moment, but what an event. What a payday for Tim Schafer, and ironically, not even his biggest payday.
I know. There's only a few drivers that can say that in sprint car racing, and he's one of them.
Yeah, but when you look at this team, we've talked about this team, and one of the things that we've talked about is that you could take this team anywhere, anytime against anybody, and when they get it locked in, they're going to be tough to handle.
Him and Cody have it figured out.
Him and Cody Jacobs have the thing figured out. World of Outlaw, Craftsman Sprint Cars. How about this? A throwback to last year, David Gravel. We're going to talk to David, getting his first win of the season. A throwback to the last 2 weeks, Darren Pittman gets the win. Third win. He won on Friday night. It was third in 4 races.
Yeah, that was great for them.
Darren is fantastic. And a throwback to the last 15 years, Donnie Schatz gets a win. So there you have it with the World of Outlaws. Central Pennsylvania, Greg Hodnett, who would say we're pushing March or May, and we're in May now, but the last Saturday night of April before Hodnett got his first win.
Can't believe it took him so long.
Been a struggle up there for Hodnett, but he did win at the Speed Palace at Port Royal. Brian Monteith won at Williams Grove, and I thought, okay, no big deal until you figure it's his first win at the Grove since August of 2016.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that either. I can't imagine the Beer Hill gang. They must have lost their minds.
Yeah, sure was a big party.
I'm sure it was. And Knoxville, we talked to Austin McCarl last week about his career first win in Knoxville. He didn't put a lot of time between. He put a lot of time between 0 and 1.
Yes.
He didn't put a lot of time between 1 and 2.
No, and he said once I got this first one, they would keep coming. And I love how he said, I don't have tears this week, but that doesn't mean I'm not as excited as I was last week.
Fantastic. So really good to see for Austin McCarl picking up the win out there at the Marion County Fairgrounds, the famed Knoxville Raceway. Great stuff along the way. And there you have it, our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Classic Ink, USA.com for hats, for hoodies, for towels, for shirts, for whatever you may need. Whether you need them for your race team, whether you need them for another sports team, maybe a church event, maybe a commercial event for a business that you're operating or involved with, or maybe a business that you're aware of, tell them to dial up Classic Ink screen printing and embroidering at www.classicinkusa.com. We need to step away because when we come back, I'm going to hit Tim Schafer up for a loan because he won a lot of money this past weekend.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum is proud to open the Brian Clausen Suite Tower in 2018. Located next to the museum, it's a testament to the sprint car community's commitment to honor Brian Clausen's legacy while helping the museum sustain financial stability into the future. To donate to the Brian Clausen Suite Tower and help cover construction costs, visit bcforever.com or call the museum directly at 800-874-4488. Bring your friends by the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum next time you visit Knoxville.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts during Clean Car Month for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new, like Mother's California Gold Car Wash, now $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. Plus, earn double O Rewards points. Bring out your vehicle shine with Mother's California Gold Car Wash at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Shane Stewart. I was wondering why Bigfoot sightings happen whenever Steve Post is in town. Now I know.
Welcome back. It is MRN's Winged Nation, and we are so glad you joined us. Let's go to the hotline, because joining us now, fresh off from that big win at Mansfield, $100,000, driver of the number 49X, the DR Racing Team, Tim Schafer's on the line. Hello, Tim. Welcome back to Winged Nation.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Dude, how about that? How about that one? That probably was a pretty nice little trip to the bank on Monday morning.
Yes, it was. Pretty awesome weekend. Just hats off to everybody with the team, with Cody Jacobs and Joe Danium, Jeff Ruzick, Jeff and Bonnie. Just give us such great parts to make this happen.
Tim, those last few laps were as exciting as it gets with you and Aaron Reitzel. Did you know he was there? Did you know that he was going to be pulling that slider? Because as soon as he came by you, you just cut right down to the infield and managed to pull off the win. But did you know he had, some runs on you?
Oh, no doubt. Honestly, I was idling around there on a yellow. I didn't really know they were going to go, because usually they put the light off one down the back straightaway, and the light was still on when I was going into 3, so I'm on the bottom of the track. And last second, they come on the radio and say, "Hey, we're going green here." And I'm like, "Well, I really don't want to be down here on the bottom." So he had a good run on me, and I knew I was in trouble. Because the whole race I was starting on the top and running down the hill and getting a good start. I'm like, this is going to get interesting. But I knew pretty much what he was going to do. He definitely was in the cat seat at the time.
He was hauling the mail, that's for sure. Tim, when you're, I've never driven a race car. Okay, when you're in a spot like that, is it do what I know I need to do, play defense? What's the mindset of you over those last 3 or 4 laps as he's throwing haymakers at you?
Well, it's definitely a defense because I know I didn't get a good start, and he ran down the hill, and I was a sitting duck basically, and I had to do whatever I had to do to stay up there. And just the experience, and I think the experience really won that race. Just being around, in that situation, at Knoxville, them big races like that, you'll get excited at the end of the race and tend to make mistakes. And winning Knoxville helped me, I think, win that race where I kept my cool.
Tim, we talked to Cody Summer last Thursday, and we talked about how difficult it is to prep a track when you only run a few events there. Talk a little bit about the track surface, the whole event. I know you mentioned Victory Lane, and people were popping tires, and you had to be a little bit conservative with tires. But talk about the track itself and the surface.
They just put it's this whole new stuff, and they really don't have any time working it. So I mean, they're learning too as we speak. It's a tough deal, and the surface is Ohio surface, being fresh dirt put in there. They were cutting tires basically on rocks. They're trying to get them out, and it just takes time. And for him to get on that grader and grade that whole track and stick it out and do it was amazing, because I know what it's like. It's you start running that grader, and you got all these people watching you, you got everybody yelling, screaming at you. And he kept us cool, and he gave us a great racetrack.
That's all you can ask for at the end of the day. A great racetrack, a great race, and a great win along the way. We're chatting with Tim Schafer here on the program. Now, Tim, when you have, I want to just a quick story. We talk about back when Lance Deweese, he wins all the Tuscarora 50s. And it's like, because he says he really has a feel for how to manage the car, manage the tire. And you had indicated during the break you only put fuel in the race car. During the first 25 laps of that race, how conscious of you that you got a long way to go, and how do you do that?
It comes with experience, really. You got to be aggressive and still keep your momentum up, but try to save some tire too. They were basically cutting them, I think on rock or debris or whatever. But it's basically trying to keep it straight and not sliding across them bad so much so you don't cut it. And having something at the end. You know, it was a 50-lapper. You know, you had to make that tire work the rest of the race. So it's about, you know, staying up front, but putting a pretty good, keeping your momentum up and a pretty good pace, and trying to do all that and trying to use your head a little bit.
Well, you obviously did a good job of conserving those tires. Tim, after the race, what was the celebration like? I know you've won Knoxville before, but obviously this is a huge event. Ricky Warner's tweet was one of my favorite of the week when he asked if you were still speaking Aliquippa or if you, whatever the quote was. Tell us about the celebration.
Well, it kind of stunk up the place being so cold. You know, it was really cold and miserable. We only got to celebrate a little bit at the track, though, but actually I ended up going over Jack Hodgeshield's, and we got to stay up for a couple hours over there, and we had some people come over. But I guess they're supposed to have a big party for me tonight at the bar, local bar, so I guess we'll get to celebrate tonight.
When the backup plan is Jack Hodgeshield's for a party, that's pretty good. If that's plan B, I can't imagine plan A. Holy crap, that's pretty good. That's fantastic. That is really good. Tim, you guys have had an interesting year because you've changed gears twice here along the way. When you went out west and decided you were going to go with the Outlaws, and then when you decided to come back, how much was this big race and some of the other big races as you got out west and as you got assessing the World of Outlaw thing? How much was that second decision? Realizing that maybe these other opportunities independent might be better than what it looked like the Outlaws were going to be?
There's no doubt. Our biggest thing, we needed personnel. We needed more help, manpower out to be on the road, to be competitive. And Cody ended up being in California pretty much by ourselves, and it showed. We were lousy, and it's just too hard. We thought we were going to have another guy. We thought we were going to have this tire deal, and it kind of both fell through, and I wanted to do it again. I'm getting up in age, and I'm still being competitive and racing good. I love racing that Outlaw deal. I always did, and we had a shot at maybe doing it. And if the cards fell in place, we'd probably still be out there. But but having the big event like Mansfield, it was we made a decision out in California, we might as well go home, and we could be more prepared to go out and win races, not just be out there participating. So, the race definitely was a game changer per se. To come home.
Absolutely, Tim. This weekend you're heading to Lernerville and Sharon. How nice is it to be able to sleep in your own bed most nights, and like you said, have that time at the shop to be really prepared?
Well, it means a lot, and it's we get to come home. We'll be home more now. This friends and family can watch, with Jeff Ruzick and Bonnie and the Denians, and so they all come out, hang out, and enjoy it. That's the key of the thing. We doing this, we're doing it for fun, to have fun. I'm doing it for a living, but still, everybody needs to enjoy it.
Indeed. I can imagine Lernerville is going to be quite the time as you come home as the world champion. I bet you there's going to be some happy people when you roll in there on Friday. Tim, as always, a pleasure to chat with you. Congratulations on the win, and fairly confident we'll be talking to you down the road, but thanks for the time here today.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it a bunch.
There we go. Tim Schafer, one of the absolute greats.
Absolutely.
We have,
And his plan B was to party at Jack Hodgeshield's.
Yeah, and then they have one tonight. At the regular bar.
Local.
When you have...
No wonder he wants to be home.
When you have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C for parties, you're Tim Schafer.
Life is
good. Maybe some more Aliquippa talk along the way. Absolutely. He went Aliquippa on him Saturday night, that's for sure. What a thrill. I'm telling you, Tim Schafer. Yeah. We first started this program in 2010, and I'm just a newbie at sprint cars. Yeah. I mean, I'm a dirt modified guy. I'm just a newbie. And this cat goes out and wins the Knoxville Nationals. I'm like, hey, he must be pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here 8 years later said, the dude is the man.
He is.
I'm telling you.
With one of my favorite nicknames in sprint car racing.
Yes, indeed.
Steel City Outlaw.
The Steel City Outlaw. How about that? Great chatting with Tim Schafer. Congratulations to that 49X team. I know team is rather young, and, man, to get a big win like that, Cody and Tim, my gosh, what a combination. Great stuff. Hey, we need to step away. When we come back, we're going to talk World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprint Cars with David Gravel.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Winged Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
I'm Terry McCarl. One has a World of Outlaws win and has made the A meet at the Knoxville Nationals. The other was the first one in line at the breakfast buffet once, or many times. Winged Nation with Steve Post and Erin Evernham.
Welcome back. Thanks, T-Mac, and that is many times, not just once. I'm not scared to get up in the morning to go get breakfast, that's for sure. I always love hearing from T-Mac. There you go. Hey, let's go back to the hotline, because joining us now, fresh off from a win last weekend, or Thursday night actually, at the Cotton Bowl Speedway, is David Gravel, driver of that CJB Racing number 5 car. Hello, David. Welcome back.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me finally.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you said that. We actually had Barry on a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking a little bit about the struggle. That had to feel really good on Thursday night to finally be able to climb up on the wing.
For sure. It's not that we've raced so much and have struggled, a whole lot. It's just these rainouts. Yeah. We're several months in the season and, haven't even raced 15 times.
That's crazy. David, we talked to Pittman last week, and he struggled at the beginning of the season. Now he's got 3 wins under his belt. He talked a lot about how they made changes over the winter that really just didn't work, and they had to go back to what they know. Did you guys change anything in the offseason, or you're just kind of, like you said, working through the rainouts and finally getting racing?
Well, starting off the season for our 3rd year in a row with a DNF, we've had terrible luck to start the season out for the Outlaw season. We never had issues at the All-Star races at Volusia, so to crash real bad on the first night after being fast all week, and then we ended up running another car and a different motor, obviously, and kind of struggled qualifying the rest of the time in Volusia, and that just seems to be our MO this year. We just can't get qualified, and at Cotton Bowl, we got our first quick time of the year and was able to sweep the night, so we've only been in, I think, 3 dashes all year, and it's just been a real struggle to get track position this year, and we're trying to figure it out. I think we kind of found an issue, why we're not qualifying well, so hopefully we get this resolved, and, we just keep looking forward and keep qualifying good.
David, you had one of those rare instances in 2018 where you actually had 3 races in a row. As you start to get your arms around that issue that you just talked about, as you start racing, are you starting to get a feel that you're in the rhythm of it now, or does it take still a few more weeks of good weather before you get into the rhythm of the season?
Well, I thought we were after winning Thursday, and then we bring down a new car, a new motor. It's a big track motor, and it's brand new. And, things just didn't turn out the way we wanted at Devil's Bowl. So we thought we had it figured out the day before, and then it shows you how tough our sport is, and, struggled qualifying both nights at Devil's Bowl, and, had to start towards the back each night. So it's one of those things. It's extremely competitive this year. It is every year, but it's very competitive this year, and you can't slip up at all. So hopefully we, like I said, get everything squared away. We've just been struggling, not that our motors don't run well, but we blew up one and we crashed one and just kind of put ourselves in bad position engine-wise. And, we just got to get that ironed out here and get our ducks in a row, and I think we'll be in a lot better shape.
David, last year you had an incredible season. I think it was 18 wins. How difficult is it to keep your morale up and the confidence in your team and your guys when you're not running, as well as you'd like to be? It's not like you've been really off, but you haven't been running that great, and you've had a ton of rainouts, and you're out in the middle of California. How important and how difficult is it to keep that confidence and the morale up?
Confidence in myself, I don't lack that at all. It's just mostly frustration because Barry and us as a team, know we could do it, and we have a good setup book from the past couple years, so we know what could work and that we're capable of doing it. It's just executing it and getting it done. So that's just the frustrating part, and it's just one of those things. We want to get some races in, and we're going back to some more normal places that we've been to a bunch of times. So definitely looking forward to that.
World of Outlaws wrapped up last week in Texas. You're headed up to Missouri this weekend. What's a Tuesday like for you? What are you doing today? What's on the agenda for today for you?
Well, we're at a hotel on the Lake of the Ozarks here. I don't know if he's a part of the promoter of the series or the track there, but they hooked us up with good rates and I think a free night for all the teams that stayed here. So we're on the lake, so hopefully we're going to take advantage of that. Might go golfing maybe today. I know there's a slick track go-karts down the road, and I don't know if it'll be warm enough to go in the water, but we'll see how the week plays out. But hopefully play some golf today.
There you go.
David, speaking about downtime and things away from the racetrack, what did you do to keep busy when you're out on the West Coast and you had all those rainouts? Did you get to fly home occasionally, or did you just find some golf? And I guess if it's raining, you're not really golfing either.
Yeah, funny you say that. I made a big boy purchase and bought a home in Florida, so I became a homeowner and was like semi-unemployed with all these rainouts. So it's been an exciting start to the season.
Wow.
But I flew there a couple times and was doing some homeowners work, getting dirty and doing some landscaping and all those fun things.
Why Florida?
Florida for me, I'm never home in the summer, and I'm home in the winter, and Connecticut's not very warm in the winter, and I love driving my street cars. I have a couple, hot rods and like to drag race a little bit, and I obviously can't do that in the Northeast in the winter, so I should be able to, drive them all winter long, and there's no state income tax also.
Well, the state, yes, cha-ching on that. Now, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, how does a kid from Connecticut that travels the country of the World of Outlaws end up in Florida? But those 2 months in the wintertime, that's a good place to be, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
David, getting back to racing, is there any part of the schedule that you really look forward to? I know you got the month of money coming up, and then you've got Knoxville, but is there any part of the season that, is it going back up to the Northeast near your family? Is there one part that kind of stands out to you?
The Northeast is always good because I'll race the weekend and drive back to Connecticut and be home a little bit. But honestly, PA was great to me last year, so definitely going to be excited at going back there. And Wisconsin, obviously, Wilmot and Beaver Dam. I've always run good at Wilmot, but I love those tracks up there. So looking forward to all those. And, PA, we were just so fast every time we were there, in contention to win every night. So definitely looking forward to making some more fans at the Grove for sure.
Indeed. Making fans at the Grove. There you have it. That sounds like good fun, that's for sure. David, we appreciate the time. Congratulations on getting back to Victory Lane at Cotton Bowl, and we hope that there's a lot of racing coming up over the next few weeks for you, and you're doing all of it. But thanks for joining us here, and safe travels. Have fun on the links here today, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you guys for having me. Talk to you later.
There we go. David Gravel, purchasing a house in Florida. Yeah. Wow, that is a big boy purchase.
Seriously,
my gosh, man. Landscaping.
Partially unemployed.
You imagine you're in a neighborhood and a new kid moves in, and he's a kid, okay? And David's still a kid, okay?
Yes,
I know it's a big boy purchase, but he's a kid. And he moves in, and he rolls off the hot rods, and he's landscaping, and he asks, what do you do for a living? Okay, not a banker, not a lawyer, I am a World of Outlaw.
Have a similar story. So Joey Logano lives a few houses down from us, and I see this young couple buys this really nice house. They've got these dogs out front, and I said to Ray, I wonder what this kid does. Like, they're a younger couple, and Ray was like, It's Joey Logano.
Joey Logano, exactly.
It reminds me of that.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what. You imagine having that as a neighbor, though, David Gravel. That'd be a good neighborhood to be in. Oh
Might be a little loud with the hot rods, but
that's all right. That's all right. That's allowed. That's allowed. Boy, you could celebrate just like Tim Schafer could after those big wins. Let's step away before we get in any trouble here. We need to step away. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our favorite places on earth when we come back.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA Screen Printing and Embroidery at the track and on your back.
O'Reilly.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 or Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oils for $28.95. Extend the life of your vehicle and improve engine performance with Mobil 1 or Castrol Edge full synthetic motor oils at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Brian Brown. She's married to one of the greatest crew chiefs of all times and my hero, and he likes beer and chicken wings. It's Steve Post and Erin Evernham on Winged Nation.
I'm a little disappointed in Brownie on that one.
I know, that was kind of nice.
Yeah, it was, and it's not Casey's General Store chicken wings.
Yeah, he missed a
He
sponsor
missed
plug.
a sponsor plug there along the way, but thank you, Brian. Welcome back. Hey, before we get into our Sprint Car Hall of Fame, you were up at Stafford at the modified race up there, and you said you ran into people with gravel shirts?
Yeah, I saw a few David Gravel shirts. I actually spoke to one guy who helped him when he was younger racing at Whip City and when he first got started in sprint cars. So it was, of course, I sought out the sprint car fans at the pavement track because I'm a little out of place at a pavement track these days.
Well, that's cool,
Very
though.
cool
That's
to
fun.
see people supporting
David Gravel shirts at Stafford for
Mhm.
the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour racing. That's good. Hey, let's talk about the Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. On Monday is Ohio Andy Hillenberg. We're the only sport that has 2 Andy Hillenbergs, Indiana Andy and Ohio Andy. Wednesday would have been the birthday of Kevin Gobrecht. Way too soon, way before his time for Kevin Gobrecht. Saturday, Mark Kinzer, Rip Williams, Dwayne Pappy Carter. Sunday, Lloyd Beckman. Today, Tracy Hines' birthday, so happy birthday to Tracy. And how about this one, Taylor Pappy Weld, a 2006 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, born in 1898. Yes, indeed. At 16, he was racing motorcycles, found his way to Kansas City, where the Weld name is famous. And Kansas City in the 30s was midget crazy. He started owning teams, and one thing you could say about Pappy Weld's teams is they were never conventional. He actually had a 4-wheel drive midget car at one time.
Did he really?
Yes, indeed. World War II stopped racing. We've talked about that a lot. In 1955, his son Jerry wanted to go racing. They took a jalopy. They started to modify it, became a super modified. It became a sprint car, and he ended up winning 3 Knoxville Nationals, 19-point championships, more than 200 race wins as a team owner. So Taylor Pappy Weld, his birthday would have been today. Those stories available at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, turn number 2 in Knoxville, Iowa. So great stuff. Hey, we're going to talk about this more on Thursday, but I am so curious as to what happens when the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour rolls into central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and I know you're going to hook into the URC guys, and then you're going to have Lucas Wolf and Hodnet and 360 cars, so I know you got your hands full there, but then you're like, well, wait a minute, this is Sam Haferteep and Wayne Johnson and Johnny Herrera and Blake Hahn, too.
Yep.
I have no clue what's going to happen. I think that's what makes this really neat.
Absolutely, and I think, for them it's a little bit of bigger tracks, and, they race everywhere, but
yeah, big flat
not
half
really
miles.
their, exactly.
Exactly. So cool stuff, that is for sure, and I can't wait to see it happen. We're going to talk more about that this weekend. Steve Inch from Selinsgrove is going to join us on Thursday. Hey, we appreciate David Gravel for joining us and Tim Schafer, but more important than that, thank you for joining us here today.
Winged Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires and by Grunt Style. Winged Nation can be found on demand at MRN.com, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.